After 5 years of city life and corporate desk jobs, we're packing up and heading to the country. An hour north of Melbourne to the beautiful Macedon Ranges. We bought a vineyard.
It was a bit of a no-brainer for us. So for the price of a 2-bedroom flat in Melbourne, you can buy a winery out in the Macedon Ranges and change your life.
On this episode of We Bought a Vineyard.
Oh, how hard can it be having a baby and buying a winery at the same time? Crazy, what are we doing? Turns out it's really hard.
The image of, winemaking is the beautiful wine that's made and the sort of in the winery using our hands to create this delicious product. It's definitely not that. It's hard graft agriculture.
You don't just plumb yourself from a desk into a vineyard without some psychological and physical kind of impacts on that.
That process has been it's internally quite violent. There's the challenges in life that are often the best, and we feel stronger for it.
Our story is that basically I had done a vintage with Henry over in Coonawarra in South Australia in an amazing community winery there. And we just fell in love with kind of winemaking and had been looking for a property that was not too big, not too cumbersome, but that we could kind of sink our teeth in and learn the journey, really. And for us, that's kind of the source of our inspiration. And then Macedon Ranges was that we just fell in love with the area. We'd lived in Castlemaine for a little bit to kind of explore whether we liked it or not. Absolutely loved it. It's an hour from Melbourne, so we're close, we're still connected, but then you can breathe and you've got all this around you. And so we were looking somewhere to bring up our little boy, and just moved in as he was born. And so pretty exciting to kind of enter into this whole new chapter.
It's a big shift for myself and Harriet. I've been in Australia for 5 years and involved in sustainable agriculture for a while. Sustainable agriculture in terms of policy work and engagement, very much working behind a computer screen and in an office, so very, very different. But for the last few years, we've been looking to make the plunge into some kind of agricultural project. We've both been interested in viticulture and winemaking, and we met Eric and Bellchambers, the existing owners of Zigzag Winery, realised that they're retiring and wanted to hand over the baton to a new generation of winemakers, and Eric would mentor me for the next 3 or 4 years. We realised it was a brilliant opportunity.
Henry's keen as mustard. He's keen to learn. I think at times he wants to learn too quickly, but that's a good sign. It's a good sign of the enthusiasm that he has for the place, the love of the wine that he's developing. He's an avid reader, he listens, and he learns. There's a lot to learn because everything is different.
Having Eric on board has been crucial for us. So I haven't got any specific winemaking experience. So having somebody who's a wonderful winemaker with years and years of experience, and to learn by doing rather than anything academic, is just absolutely perfect. So I can learn about this particular vineyard, these varieties, how wine's been made here for the last few decades. Zigzag Winery is 23 acres with 10 acres under vine. It's an absolutely beautiful location, so it's just so pleasant for myself, Harriet and Albie, our newborn baby, to spend time here, surrounded by these vines that have been growing since 1973 and producing these gorgeous grapes. There are a number of varieties, so we have Riesling, Cabernet Sauvignon, we have Shiraz, and we have Pinot Noir. One of the attractions for Harriet and I into this property was the quality of the wine. So Macedon Ranges is cool climate. This property is about 520 metres above sea level, very late to ripen, so will be perhaps the last vineyard in Australia with Shiraz grapes still on the vine.
It's just phenomenal quality of life up here. You get the nature, incredible food, incredible wine, and everyone's interested in terms of that local sourcing. And I guess, yeah, for us, that sense of community comes from the food. So you're not just sitting in a restaurant hearing about it, it's actually people come together around food and around wine. That's what we, love about this place.
As we take on this journey, Eric's knowledge of the land over the last 16 years is going to be invaluable.
Everything is about looking at nature, and I'm trying to teach him that you can't punch a computer screen and tell you this is going to be ready now. You've got to go out there, you've got to look at the grapes, look at the vines, taste the grapes, look at the weather, and you're governed by what's out there, not what's on the computer. That's one of the feelings that you get when you come to Macedon Ranges. The people that own the vineyards know the vineyards. Henry and Harriet have taken a great leap in purchasing this vineyard. I'm hoping to pass on my knowledge of winemaking, but more particularly, my knowledge of this vineyard and how to get the best out of it.
We bought the business a week before my little baby boy Albert was born, so we took on a lot, probably more than we could chew. But so we've been here now only 3 months, and the learning curve is steep, but we're absolutely relishing every moment of it. It's all about, for us, getting our friends and family in. We pick with friends. We get friends to help label. On my Instagram post, I'm always calling it #CommunityWinery, because we really want, our vision for this place is to really have it bring together, all the amazing food that's in the area, connect with local people through that. Our friends from Melbourne can't get enough of it. They're constantly coming up. They really relish and want to be a part of that story. We're just so privileged and proud that we get to have our own chapter of that, I guess, and sharing that story of where the wine comes from. We've been through our first vintage alongside Eric. Now winter is approaching, and so is the hard grind of the pruning season.
This will be our first vintage of actually owning a winery and going through the process of pruning the vines to bud burst to picking the grapes.
Are we picking everything? We have to sort of see if they're good or not?
Yeah, so these are special grapes.
And it's also myself and Harriet's livelihood. So it's quite anxiety-inducing when you look out from your window and you see thousands of birds and the European wasps and all of the other kind of pests and critters.
Yeah, so winter pruning for the first time at Zigzag Road's been a real challenge. We've got over 6,000 vines to cut back, and we are seriously behind schedule. But it's just such critical work. And obviously an overgrown vine with too much leaf can promote disease, while fruit volume will be compromised.
You've been ready for Shiraz any time? Yeah. Today in late spring, it is a beautiful day to be out in the vineyard. With over 16 years of experience in this vineyard, Eric can prune a vine in half the time it takes me, and he's offering some advice on what to look out for.
Now, have a look here. That's a broken cane.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It doesn't look like it, but it's a broken cane. And that's broken too. So you don't have a choice.
There is so much to learn so quickly. What we're doing right now is vital to the quality of the grapes in 4 or 5 months' time.
Yeah, it's been very interesting learning it all, or not learning it all at all, but, you know, learning what I know so far. So you can see here, this is a Shiraz vine, and we've given it, this is a cane, and on this cane, we've purposefully cut it to 10 buds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me just get rid of those. And the reason being is that 10 buds per cane in this climate and in this vineyard means that you're much more likely to ripen the grapes. So Shiraz actually tends to be a much hotter climate variety. So, you know, Australia is famous for its big, bold Shirazes that you get from Barossa or around here, Heathcote, where there's lots more sun. But here we're 500 metres above sea level, so it's very late to ripen. So we crop much lighter, and it gives it much more chance to ripen. I love a cool climate Shiraz because it's lighter, more restrained, and you get sort of more complex flavours, in my opinion. But yeah, that's why we're doing it. So you're just doing 10 buds there, 10 buds that side. If you were to go to the Cabernet, it's a different formation altogether. There's 8 and 6 each side.
The more relaxed days of picking seem so long ago. Out here pruning the vines gives us plenty of time for reflection of the massive task ahead.
The image of, you know, winemaking is the beautiful wine that's made and the sort of in the winery using our hands to create this delicious product. It's definitely not that. It's hard graft agriculture. And it's actually been quite a violent process in a way, coming from a corporate job where I've been paid quite handsomely, taking really none of the risk. And working 5 days a week with the weekends off, compared to taking all of the risk of being completely at the hands of nature. That process has been sort of internally quite violent in some ways. And I feel like there's a transition that needs to happen for this to work, sort of psychologically, physically. And so I feel like we're just starting to emerge a little bit. There's still years and years and years of experience until we've got our confidence up, but we're starting to tune in a bit more to the rhythms and understand this complete shift in being.
It's been a really interesting journey, transitioning. You know, you don't just plumb yourself from a desk into a vineyard without some psychological and physical kind of impacts on that. We used to make a joke before I had the baby saying, oh, how hard can it be having a baby and buying a winery at the same time? Crazy, what are we doing? Turns out it's really hard. It's been a challenge, but it's been, I don't know, deeply feels like what I've been wanting to do for a long time. So nothing in life is easy, but you know, you've got to try and do what you love. What's been really interesting about coming from a desk job, you know, I had the privilege to get out and do a lot of farm work, but mostly I was desk-based, is learning that, every day you have to sit down and actually do the work. And it's not, sometimes I think, oh God, we've got to do this row, and then once that row's done, you have this sense of achievement. And you think, oh, but look at all these other rows we've got to do. But it's just really recalibrating that sense of how you look at work. So both of us are really learning to reframe and surrender how we think about our day's work and farming, so that actually there's it sounds a bit perhaps philosophical, but a meditative joy in wrapping the canes across the wire, in pruning and pulling out, in cultivating the vine ready for next year. And I think if you don't look at it like that, if you look at it like, oh, we just got to do row after row after row, it's endless. Like, that's the whole cycle. And what's awesome about vines that is a real insight to me, and just a real privilege that I had no idea of before, is every season's different, every month's different. So we've got several varieties here. So everything's a bit staggered, firstly. And secondly, because the Pinot will burst earlier than, say, the Shiraz. But also, you only prune once a year. You only tie down once a year. Then once that's done, it's on to the next task, it's on to the next task.
And the task is to go over every single vine and basically prune back so that you're getting the right cropping levels for the season. So it's really important. If you were to not do this job, you would have just loads of foliage, loads of canes, loads of unripe fruit, loads of bad quality. So what we're doing is just getting the cropping level right, which is appropriate for this site, making sure that there are a right amount of vines, the right amount of grapes, and so that it can ripen at the right time, we get the right acidity, the right sugar levels. So it's really important. But here, you know, this is one vine. Because this is my first year, it'll take me about 10 minutes. Eric can do it in about 5, but we've got 6,000 vines. We don't want these canes getting in the way of ripening next year's harvest. If this was earlier on in the season, what I'd be doing is snipping and then just ripping it out, and it would be no problem. But because you can see here, this bud's pretty much burst, and it's really sensitive. So you do that, and you've lost a bud. That's a shoot. That's a bunch of grapes. So what I have to do now is snip out really carefully, make sure I don't bang anything.
You run a winery in Australia, and they kind of just think it's all beaches and beaches and winery and, you know, beautiful. And it's about trying to tell the truth and the reality of it. We're so kind of divorced from the rhythms of nature, and so people are really fascinated to come and they're curious to come up and see what is that really like. And we're trying to be really open with that, I guess. Partly because we really want to tell that story, but more because we just really need help. So we really need as much help as we can get.
I think the Macedon Ranges is one of Australia's best kept secrets. It's an hour and 15 minutes out of Melbourne, so it's really easy to access. And once you get up here, there are the most wonderful wineries. All the other wineries around here are making spectacular wine, and it's just a really lovely place to hang out, to get to know the people that are using their hands and their hearts to make the food and drink. So it's a very special area. There's just a brilliant community of people around to support us. There's a lot of like-minded folk looking to innovate in agriculture and make some brilliant food and drink. And it's just a beautiful location. We adore it.
So something I really love about the Macedon Ranges, I suppose experience for people, is that where every winery you go to, it's almost a boutique experience. You meet the owner, you meet the winemaker, you hear their story, and the people at the cellar door love that. They love the sense that they're really connected to actually the story of the Macedon Ranges when they come to our wineries here.
And so a big part of what we do is farming. We say that at work ourselves, you know, this is a farm, we're farming, we get frosted, we get hail, we get sun, we get rain. So we're on the lap of the weather gods, but the job's got to be done, the work has to be done. And so for Henry to realise, it's good that he's realised it's hard work. And he'll actually look back in a few years and go, you know what, growing it's hard, making it's easy, selling it's the hardest part. Selling's really, really difficult. Super amount of competition out there in the marketplace at every price point. Not just competing with local wineries, we're competing with other Victorian wineries, competing with international wineries. We make wine, but we have to sell wine. It's how we make our money. It's how our business operates. And unless people are putting our wine in their mouth, they're putting someone else's wine in their mouth.
I mean, a lot of people say you're British. Why move to Australia and then to central Victoria, where winters are pretty brutal? Our house is mud brick, so it's cosy, but it's nothing, you know, it's still pretty brutal. Winters are long, they can be hard. Last year, spring was quite long as well, or rather cold. You know, when you've got to get out in the vines when the wind's whipping across here, and this valley really brings it up, and you've got driving rain or you've just flipping cold, you've got to keep out there and keep doing it.
So we are in late October, and as you can see, I'm still pruning, and Harriet's still pruning. We're on the second last row of the vineyard. You can see here, these have pretty much, well, absolutely burst. This is the Shiraz, and these little buds have started shooting up, and you've got flowers. So we're really late. We had a week last week. It got up to 32, and it was dry, hot wind, and we were cowering inside. Very thankful for our mud brick house because it was absolutely boiling outside. And now I'm in my puffer jacket, and unfortunately, it looks like there might be a frost this evening. So we've gone from really hot weather to the chance of there being a frost. And the problem with frost at this time of year is we've got buds out, we've got foliage, quite easily burn all the leaves and stop all the growth. It really has quite a significant impact on the fruit quality and what we can do, so we're quite anxious. So we've got the frost alarm on this evening, and if it gets to about sort of 1 degree at about 5 a.m, Harriet and I will come out and start burning hay bales to try and use smoke to veer off the worst of it. We had a frost the other day that wiped out a friend's vineyard, but we've just been lightly affected here.
This has all got frost damage, definitely. It's just that hopefully it'll bounce back.
There's never been a sense of regret, although that is definitely a question we get asked often, particularly by family back home. They're like, are you sure that was the right decision? It feels like we're in partnership building something together, and that's one of the richest things that we've ever felt in our life. So it's a deep, lovely feeling, but it's had its strain on us individually, as a partnership, as a family unit. So that's been really tough at times, trying to navigate that.
Next time on We Bought a Vineyard.
As long as Albie was alive and the vines were alive in that order, the rest of it, like, whatever, I can cope. We would love to tell a bit more of the story of who we are, what is Zigzag, where is Zigzag.
And the lawyer basically said, you need to stop trading immediately because the fine is either $42,000 or 2 years in prison. I'm not the sort of person that would thrive in prison.